We are recording. I just want everybody in the world to know I have not been able to get these gentlemen to stop talking for the past 30 minutes. Okay, I'm exaggerating, but it's been at least 15, y'all.
It's all
But
right.
hey, we are here with you again with
Hey.
another bold and beautiful podcast. We are very happy to be here in 2021. We are live,
Yes.
we are well, we have smiles on our faces.
Yes.
And we have a very special guest who is not a stranger to the show, but it's been a while. So we have Corey Knight from the Hope Foundation, friend, brother, community advocate, chef, plumber, entrepreneur,
Yes.
contractor, peer specialist. I mean, I could go on with all of the lists and titles and accolades and all the things that he does. We're just going to call this the social justice hour right now because we've already gotten
Yes.
into it. I can see where this is going. So we are just going to get into it. We are just excited again to have Corey with us. We're just going to talk about whatever comes to mind, whatever we have. We're going to continue the conversation that we had before I pressed record, and we're just going to get into it. So, do you want to keep going with the vote issue? I mean, where y'all let me know where you want to start.
So you started off with talking about the challenges that returning citizens have during the pandemic, right? And so we can go there and then we can climb the ladder. If that
I'm the ladder. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, if that makes sense, right? I mean,
Yes.
because that's a big, because still we're still in this transition of this pandemic. It's lightening up, right? But we still gotta be careful, right? We still gotta wear masks. We still looking at companies and restaurants and all of these things are opening up. We know that 75% of businesses and companies are being limited to employment. And so just like the movie theaters lost a drop tremendously for young kids that were employed at these movie theaters, right, in Washington, D.C., that don't have a job right now. You know what I'm saying? And so we look at, we look at the disparity of income, right? Income, mental health, stressors, making poor decisions, and we can look at more of an emotional standpoint of people making emotional poor decisions, right? Because of the state of mind. And so, I got my stimulus check, but I'm getting ready to go and get in line and buy a $400 pair of shoes. Because I emotionally, right, and my self-esteem, right, I need to feel like I got something going on, right? And so we look at so many different variables in life of how people are not really taking advantage of during a reevaluation time, right? Because I mean, it gave me the opportunity when that 30 days shut down. I'm telling you, when that that day shut down, I had a suitcase on the floor. I was getting ready to go to the jazz jump in May in Miami. They had a jazz fest in Miami, right? Mm-hmm. Jazz in the Garden. That's what it was. I was getting ready to go to Jazz in the Garden. I'm telling you, my suitcase was, and I was on the phone called the airport trying to get my money. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
But during that week, I don't know why I had anxiety. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just, I couldn't sleep. My heart racing all fast, and I had to get the meditation app. You know what I'm saying? And sit up in the bed, take deep breaths. I'm trying to figure out where all of this is coming from, right? I'm really trying to figure out where it was coming from. I'm so used to being busy that I feel like I'm locked in again, right? And it feels like a point of incarceration. And so now I didn't understand that I was connected all to my trauma all over again.
Yeah. That's good.
Trauma.
That is good.
Yeah, that's good.
Listen, I felt like I was incarcerated in my own home.
Right.
Because the world was shut down.
Yeah. Right.
So I would go to the grocery store to buy something every day just to get outside. I know I ain't the only one.
You're absolutely not.
Somebody like Walmart, but I ain't the only one. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I said it. But I say that to say I was trying to adjust, right, to this pandemic that we had no understanding of, right?
Right.
Didn't want to get sick, I was washing my hands every day. Every day I got in the car, but took the little wipes and,
Still
clean,
do.
and I was super paranoid. So now I have another layer of trauma that I'm dealing with. Now
Right.
I'm dealing with these traumas. I'm worried about my mother. You know what I'm saying? That's a elder that I don't really want to come in contact with, because now I know people have been getting affected, and I might be asymptomatic, right? And I might not have it. I might transfer it to her, and then she might go to the hospital. And so I got all of these things going on personally, but I'm still smiling and I'm acting like everything is okay.
Yeah. And that was just the first month. We've been doing this now for 10, 12 months now.
Yeah, there you go. But
compounding.
The other thing is this the other thing. The other thing is that people still haven't adjusted, right? Psychologically, right? Mentally, spiritually, right? Physically, financially. Yeah, and financially, right? And so just the adjustment of saying, you know what, my funds are limited. I can't spend money like I want to. But everybody trying to break the door down to go out of state and go, turn up in Miami and Texas and all of these other places that was allowing people to go, and then they come back home sick. You know what I'm saying? Listen, it was, but it didn't give everybody opportunity to just scale back and reevaluate, replan, and say, all right, let me do something different. How can I, and my only thing was, how can I make an impact on the people that we serve that already was suffering, but are really suffering now? Yeah. Right. So now we not only, because it ain't even about reentry, it's about people overall. Everybody's suffering. So when I have a conversation with returning citizens and people coming home, that in their mind, because we can design success in our mind when we get out of jail, and everybody was getting put out of jail early. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So in they was get out, get a job, and, you know what I'm saying, and all of this stuff. And they had to come home and stay in the house. Yeah. They couldn't go out. You know what I'm saying? It was a restriction of going places. So they were frustrated in that point that now they're out and they ain't got nothing going on. So they about to make a bad decision. So people in recovery, what I found out, because I'm in recovery, right? People in recovery begin to relapse because they never had a structure. They never had a foundation in recovery. It was always surface. They wasn't never, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't never, they would go to the meeting and stand in front of the meeting instead of going in the meeting and getting the help that they need to build a foundation of recovery. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to show you that I'm clean instead of telling you that I'm sober. See, there's a difference between clean and sober. Clean is looking like this. Sober is having a sober mind. You know what I'm saying? Being able to make wise decisions in a time of trouble. You know what I'm saying? So most of the time, people can't make wise decisions in the time of trouble because they're not sober. Yeah. They just clean. You know what I'm saying?
That's
and
good. That's good.
It's easy to get dirty when you clean.
Hey, that's good. That's good. That's good.
I'm a recovery coach. You know what I'm saying? So I've been coaching for a long time. Yeah. So this thing called recovery is in my blood. And so it's not, I ain't saying I got it, all figured out. But what I do know is that I have been doing this for so long that it has become natural for me to stay clean because I'm sober. Yeah. I ain't just clean, I'm sober. I'm sober-minded. So when I make a decision, I ask that decision, am I making the right decision? And then I ask my mentor or my sponsor, is this decision the right decision? So when I make a decision, I go through 3 layers of asking somebody other than me about the decision that I'm about to make. And you would say, what, you 52 and you've been clean for almost 16 years? You can't make a sound decision yet? I can, but I think it's best that I run it to somebody else before I make a decision. So most people don't do that. So when they make a bad decision, they go up in smoke because they never run it through nobody else.
You said something earlier too. Basically, you said something about peer recovery too. So, or having a peer. So I'm a peer recovery specialist. My wife, that's actually her business is JPR, Jordan Peer Recovery. So they actually basically they work with NADAC, and a lot of people are certified through them, especially in DC, right?
Right.
So you know, the thing is that, you know, people think that because you mentioned peer recovery, you mentioned recovery, and you mentioned trauma, but some people don't realize that the anxiety, just what you just said and pointed out, is that they're dealing with a trauma because they now don't have control over their circumstances anymore. So now they're, like you said, their anxiety is high, but they don't realize that it's connected to a past trauma, and that is actually adding on to a trauma, and that how, you know, they might need somebody to also help them navigate through that trauma to recovering over that from that, because people look at it like, because like you said, somebody get that stimulus check and go stand in line and go buy a $400 pair of shoes. So your addiction ain't necessarily something that you are putting in your body. It's more that you're putting on your body, but it's because of the trauma. So peer recovery, as in like you just spoke about being a recovery coach and peer recovery, like speak on to that level as far as how people can move past, you know, those things and having somebody there to navigate them, just like you said.
Yeah. So most diseases are uneasy, right? When you have some type of certain disease, right? It's an uneasy space. It might be mental, it might be physical, whatever the case may be. It takes control, or it's a dis-ease in your body. So now I'm trying to fix something that I'm uneasy about. You know what I'm saying? So the disease is nothing but really a dis-ease that I really need to recognize, or I need to be aware of that I have. So now every time I come in contact with my disease, it's already triggering me. It's telling me it's uneasy about you. You need to check. So now when I'm trying to check it, I tell people this: a sick mind can't heal a sick mind. And once you sick, you sick. So it's not, I can't fix everything in me. I have to go outside of me to get something to fix me. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times you got to be connected to something else, right? That you know that has your best interest, right? That's going to tell you what you don't want to hear. I can't have anybody that I put on a table and they just have a wobble head. You know what I'm saying? Their head is wobbling every time. You say, I'm about to jump off the bridge. Yeah, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Right. So you got to be real careful how you be selected, right? So now we're talking about people, places, and things. You got to look at your environment, because your environment is your influence, right? That's your influence, your environment. So nine times they say the hot dog stand. You stand around a hot dog, you know you don't eat hot dogs, but you keep smelling. You say, you know what, man, I think I'm gonna give me one of these hot dogs today. You feel me? And so I understand that my environment is a crucial part of how I make decisions, right? So now people that we know that make bad decisions, you gotta look at the people they're around. You say, man, you show me your friends, I can show you your future, right? Your future can be either dark or it can be clear, right? But you got to understand, if I look at the people that you're around, it'll tell me who you are. So a lot of times, it's not about judging. It's about saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to come and holler at you. So I'm talking about somebody on the peer level. I'm going to go around there and holler at them. As soon as I go, I see about 15 guys in front of the building. I pull up, you know what I'm saying? I call them, come on outside. As soon as we come outside, he hit everybody's hand. All right, I'll be back. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, now I know what I'm dealing with. You know what I'm saying? I already know what I'm dealing with. So now as we go down, say, what's going on? What's up with you? So in the beginning stages of a conversation, the person only going to give you surface. They're going to show a facade. They're going to tell you what you want to hear till they can't tell you anymore. You know what I'm saying? The representative usually run away from the real person, because a lot of times the representative is only a short temperament of that person just for a second. That's even in a relationship. You got to be real careful. You got to be real careful when you're dealing with somebody, because that's the first person you're going to meet. The first person you're going to meet is the representative. And then the representative going to say, ta-da, here you go. You say, whoa, who is that? You know, glasses jacked up and everything. You be like, who is that? You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. But I understand the transformation when we're talking about people and when we're talking about recovery. Because recovery is just not about drugs. And I always state that. Because see, people don't take you, it ain't about you having a drug problem. You got a lifestyle problem, right? You don't have a drug, it's about the lifestyle. The drugs is just a symptom of something you do in that lifestyle. But if we can remove you from that lifestyle, then all the other things begin to start to look distasteful. You'd be like, I don't like to do that. And so now we have people that we've been helping out in recovery. When they go around these certain spots of place, they'll call and say, man, I feel a little uncomfortable, man. Can you come and get me? I'm on my way. Now we understand that that person is in recovery, right? Because now his mental is shifting, right? The perspective is shifting. The information is starting to hit home now. He's starting to buy into, right, what life really can be. Because life can be good. And so you have to, this is not for people in jail. This is not for people.
Right.
It's for all of us, right?
Absolutely.
That's that renewed mind. That mind has to be renewed.
It does. We had a group yesterday, and I was like, look, everybody on here got a little something going on with them. So I don't want you to think, we just hosting, we just navigating, we just the host. That's it. But all of us need help. And so that's why all of us is on here. It's no big eyes, no little you. All of us are here to help each other. This is our network. And this is how we present the circle to people so they understand that you ain't less than because you in here and you just coming home from jail. Guess what? I came home from jail about 13 years ago, right? It's just, guess what? I can help you navigate from where you at now to where I'm at now. You know what I'm saying? But when you get hit, I might have to soft hand you off to somebody else.
Right.
I only can get you to where I'm at. I can't tell you how to go too far because I'm still following somebody. You know what I'm saying? So the navigation is on and on and on and on, right? It's a journey. It's not a race. Go ahead.
I have observed in my relationship with you, both professionally and personally, is the change in your mind. So you talking about how recovery isn't it's not about the addiction itself, but it's about a lifestyle. And one of the things that I noticed in you and listening to you talk and listening to you encourage men and women who are in their process is that at some point, I know listening to your story, you came to a place where you're like, I don't belong here anymore. And I feel like, and if maybe you could explain it a little bit in more detail, but I feel like when I hear your story and I hear about how you got from where you were to where you are, that at some point you were like, this is not where I belong. Like, I don't belong in these streets. I don't belong in this prison cell. And even, and for, people like me who have maybe never been convicted of a crime, but have found myself in places where I don't belong here. Right. And so it's about coming to a place in wherever we find ourselves in whatever walk of life, that if you want your life to be different, it starts with the thought like, I'm not supposed to be doing this. If you think you're still supposed to be there, I promise you tomorrow you will wake up and you will be in that exact same place, whether that is in your emotions, whether it's in these relationships. Like if you feel like you should be treated a certain way in your relationship, you probably still will be because you feel like this is the treatment you deserve. And so if you can take us back to maybe a part of your story where you realize like, this is not how I'm supposed to be living life.
Well, I mean, 26 times I already knew that I wasn't supposed to be there. I'm just but because of the mentality, because of the environment, right? That was a way of life for us. You know what I'm saying? So the consequences was like, yeah, I can do, how the conversations go. Man, I can do this little bit on my head. All right, show me. You know what I'm saying? Like really, like physically show me that you can go to your head. It sounds good, but you can't do nothing on your head. You know what I'm saying? So don't give me that conversation. But I'm saying that because I used to use that language after court. But inside, I was feeling defeated. I felt that I had to show this facade like it was okay. But deep down inside, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. Really, right? But again, because we connected to God, and what I do understand about God, God will continue to help you revisit your pain until you say, that ain't where I'm supposed to be no more. I'm going back to what you saying, Jordan, right? I ain't supposed to be there no more. But just the pain. So you know how, and I don't know if you did this, but I did this. When I used to go to jail, I used to go to Southeast 1, Southeast 2. in all of these units over the jail, and I would become the pastor. Yeah, right. I will hold church, you know what I'm saying? Had a praise group, all of that. Go to the chapel every Sunday, you know what I'm saying? Help out Miss Betty Green in there and sit on the phone and do all of that stuff, right? But what I understood was it was already in me. I was born with that. My mother gave me that. There was good tools that I've always had. I would put it to the side. But when I got in jail and got away from the streets and the environment and the people and all that, I would get back into that spiritual nature. So what I understood what God did to me was he would keep putting me back into the same place until I got it. So it took 26 times for me to have an aha moment and say, man, I'm done, right?
Yeah.
But then the other leg came on because he said, you ain't going to the jail no more. I'm going to put you on the bus so you can take a trip and you can really see how it really is. See, because I ain't never touched one of them spots before. I was always in the jail. See, my destination was always over the jail, 1901 D or E. So I understood that. That was a part of my history, but that was my address. That was my residency, right? But one day he said, nah, I'm gonna send you to Ferguson. So now with 3 years, I had to go to Ferguson. So now reality kicked in. I'm far, far away from home. I'm in the woods. I got the brown outfit on. Now I'm walking around the track with dudes that got light. Now I'm seeing, right? If I keep doing what I'm doing, I'm gonna be one of them.
Yeah.
Right? I'm gonna be one of them. But this was the most powerful thing that hit me, that had me go in my cell and tear my whole cell up. And my man just stood in front of the door and he let me go because he said he felt that I was done. My daughter and my mother came to visit me. I don't do visits at no jail. I don't need you to mess my time up. Let me do my time. Let me be selfish. I'll call you on the phone. Don't come see me. I don't need to see you because when you see me, you mess my whole time up because now I can't go nowhere with you. Now I'm thinking about the streets. I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking about this. So I would never want people to come and see me, right? So they snuck down there because my daughter was fighting to see me. She was 9 years old, right? 9. And when she came to see me, she grabbed me, boom, hit me. And the life came out of me. Now I'm trying to be a man. I'm breaking down. I'm crying. I'm trying to be a man. I'm in a big hole. I can't hold it. Right? All of that come out. Right? Now I'm playing. I'm holding her. She playing my face and, playing my little beard. My hair growing. She just examining me. I don't even know. She trying to see if something wrong with that. She trying to see if daddy hurt because she know this is a bad place, man.
And she wants you home.
You get what I'm saying? Right? So now it's time to go. It ain't nothing but an hour. That's why I don't like business. But when it's time to go, she thinking she coming to get me and take me home. And I can't go home. She kicking, screaming, fighting, and fussing. Now I had to have a conversation about I'm going to be home. Because I done lied to her for so many years that daddy at work. Right? So now I got to sit here and look at this innocent girl, right? And my mother, that's deteriorating because she's getting old and she get on the bus for 3 hours just to bring my daughter up here for an hour. All of that hit home. What the mess am I doing, man? Why am I being so selfish? Why am I being so self-centered? It ain't about me no more. I got a 9-year-old girl out there that love me like I'm crazy, right? Like crazy, and she want me home. But I want to be in the streets and act like I got it going on when I'm in here and I'm a certified bum. Now what is it? So now I go back to the unit, right? It hit me, right? I'm pulling the bed out. I'm screaming. I'm crying. I'm beating the wall, all of that, right? And now the officer come in there. He say, man, you all right? I said, nah, I ain't all right, man. I ain't all right. That was the turning point. I was done. Wasn't on no homie time no more. I wasn't walking around the track talking about nothing. My mind was set. I needed to come home and get my life together, right? I needed to come and get my life together. And that's where it was at. That's the turning point in my life. That was the turning point for me.
Mhm.
I don't know anybody else's turning point, but that was my turning point, right?
Yeah.
And so from there, I was done. The only thing I did perfect, I'm gonna tell you the only thing I did perfect. Only thing I did perfect was I quit. I quit, right? I quit everything. I quit, man. It ain't no, no, I quit. I wasn't messing with nobody. I wasn't hanging with nobody. I wasn't doing anything. I was on my square. It was about me getting back to square one. So now I had to start with square one. So what was square one from me? I got a license as a plumber. Guess where I had to work at? KFC. Because I had to use that resume that I was working in the kitchen because I couldn't work at a plumbing job. I didn't have my work history was all messed up. So I had to go to the kitchen because guess what? I used that on my resume. I worked in the fairs for 2.5 years in the kitchen. I never stopped working, right? I never stopped working. So I went to KFC to go to work. And from then on, I started building life. I started building. That was the bottom for me. And what I understand about the bottom is crowded as mud.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's crowded
Yes,
down there. Man, listen, it is so crowded down there. I couldn't wait to get out.
But
I couldn't wait.
You said something. You posted something too. A couple of days ago, a day or so ago. You said too. You said to not be yourself is identity theft.
There you go. Everything that I talk about most of the time on my Facebook page or whatever, it's a reflection. It's a daily reflection for me to understand you might can identify with it. Because the more that I talk about me, most of us can identify with what we're going through. Again, you don't have to be a prisoner, but you can be a prisoner.
Absolutely.
We have most people that are prisoners, right? And don't even know they locked up.
Yeah.
They don't even know they locked up. Right?
I heard someone say recently, and it's something that's been said, over time, that you are not even playing the major role in your own life's movie. You are a bit part in your own life. Someone else is telling you where to go, what to do. You're being controlled in your emotions, your decision making by somebody else. You're not even taking a major role in your own life.
You are the unfamous actor.
Absolutely.
Really?
Did you have any questions or anything, any thoughts?
For me, I was listening to what you were saying, Corey, about that turning point. And like, I may not have been physically locked up when I had my turning point, but I remember the day when I had my turning point and I was throwing and it was ugly. But I had to just be real with God, real with myself. And I was saying things that had been bottled up, but once it was out,
right,
I felt like a new person.
That's right.
It was like, let the chips fall where they may, because I'm not going back to that.
Right.
But what am I going to? I had to be focused, because if I did that again, I'm going to get those results. So when the knocks came at 2:00 in the morning, keep the door closed. If I'm going to go straight, I'm going forward, and even if I make mistakes, God knew I was on his team.
Right. That's right.
And when I look back, and we couldn't get stuck there, because that was 30 years ago, and if I had stayed there doing those same old things, I wouldn't be where I am now. And so I'm just grateful, and it makes me very compassionate, because I see a lot of passion in you when you're talking, because it's like, and you can't make people face themselves.
Yeah.
They get mad with you when you try to do it. All you can do is walk up right before them. But because we know how much better it is when you focus on where you want to go instead of remaining at the bottom. That time people don't even want to realize they're at the bottom. They worked hard to be there. And I worked hard to be where but once I started.
Not only that, people address the bottom up.
Won't they?
Yeah.
And make
trying to make it look good, make it sound good. That's why I had to cut off a lot of stuff. I've just had to cut stuff off because value my time. You know, since I'm retired, I value my time. And and it's a blessing, you know. I've learned to appreciate my time and to make wiser decisions, you know, and to set my boundaries
Absolutely.
and hold on to my peace and realize nobody can take that peace from me unless I give it to them. So then it
That's
makes me
right.
go back inside and
Mhm.
do the work. You got to keep
Mhm.
doing the work. You got to keep doing the work, the boundaries.
Yeah.
You know, when you get angry and upset, you know, why am I feeling angry and upset? Oh,
Right.
they trying to
Right.
take my peace. Peace. I be holding on to my peace just like I'm holding on to this phone. Oh, you trying to take my phone? You trying to take my peace? Nah, we go. So I did something here. I didn't let you think that you can get away with that.
Right. Right.
Nah.
Right.
So, but it takes time. It's a process.
Yes,
It's
it is.
definitely, but until a person is sick and tired of being sick and tired, or they realize that they missing out.
Yeah.
When you felt them arms around you, you felt life. You know, the life that you weren't living. That she appreciated you more than you were appreciating. You know, it was like, oh, this girl loved me.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. Listen.
Come
She's
on.
in Kansas, right? And she FaceTimes me every day with my grandkids. Just we talk every day. You know what I'm saying? And but what she understands is that I'm available. I'm available.
Yes.
And that's all. That's sometimes in a relationship. That's what somebody really needs to know. Are you available? Right?
That's all.
That's her happy point. If she needs anything, she know I got it, right?
Yeah.
She can walk around with her head high and say, I'm safe. She say, if I don't know anything, my daddy got me. You gonna say, that's what I don't care how old she get, as long as I'm on this earth, she know her daddy got her. I'm safe.
That's a blessing.
You know what I'm saying? And so I know from that relationship, it taught me how to nurture and build other relationships. You know what I'm saying? Just when I work with people, when I'm coaching, when I'm mentoring, when I'm educating people, the only thing I do is put up a mirror. That's it. I am the mirror, right, of a reflection of what it can be when you transform. When transformation comes, I'm just a mirror. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you in that jail cell, guess what? I was there. I remember being there. I can tell you what they're eating for lunch already. I can tell you the whole ins and out.
I can tell you.
I know I know where not the officers now because they young. But I do know them over there. But I'm talking about all the older officers and over there. Like I watched them grow up through the ranks.
Come on now.
You know, they came in as a private, they sergeants and captains, you know what I'm saying? Like we know each other. Like but now the relationship is totally, you know what I'm saying? Like
yes.
We go out. I remember when they had a Christmas party. DOC had a Christmas party. It was like, you get your invitation. I was like, nah, I ain't get no invitation. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh no, go to the table. You got an invitation. And that was my first time. I was like, oh wow. Oh wow.
Like this.
They're like, oh wow. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was something new for me. I was like, oh wow. You know, I see them turned up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm there. I ain't drinking or nothing. I'm chilling. But they like, you don't, nah, you know, I don't drink. But I'm saying just to be in the environment with people that have normal lives and just living. And then, the funny thing is, I became some of their counselors. You know?
Hey, look, that's what happens.
Yes.
Look at God.
I became some of their counselors, some of their financial coaches, right? You know, like when they hear me, when I'm doing class and they sitting there, they like, man, you know what? Man, I need that myself. You know, man, look, as soon as I come in there, hey, man, let me get one of them worksheets.
Right.
Like you know what I'm saying?
You said some, I'm sorry. You said some wonderful words. Cultivate, environment, nurture. I mean, those are big words, you know, and you can tell that I can tell that you have done the work. You are doing the work. And there's so much wisdom there, you know, and it's like God has just prepared you for so many different things, you know, that you can walk with this person. You just said it. You can walk with them from being on the inside, and then on the outside, you're still walking with them, but in a different light, you know.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
was
amazing
gonna say,
how God uses our life. Go ahead, Curtis.
no, I ain't gonna cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I'm
Oh,
done.
okay. But I was gonna say, yeah, too, because like really the truth of the matter, like I got a saying too, and that is that in order to change the world you see, you got to change the world in me, right? And once you begin to do that, you did that. So like now it's like literally like people think that once you get to that place where you start doing the work, where you're making the change in you, so you can change the world you see. People think that still you see things and you think you can't affect the masses because you're just one person, but people don't realize, like I heard somebody say one time, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You know, so like one step is always a step in the right direction, because the fact is that you're going to meet your destination and you just don't know that a little bit ends up turning into a lot once you stack it on top of each other. And like with you, you kept stacking it on top of each other, like so you share with us the you know where you was, how you moved through the transition, but people really don't know you. We know you, but and some people that's in DC, whether they're sitting in the city council, whether they're sitting as a CEO, whether they're sitting on the street, or whether they are teens, people know the giant that you are in our community, right? And the thing is that you're actually changing the environment in the world that we see. So people think that, okay, yeah, well, Ward 7 and Ward 8 is still a bad area or whatever, but you're actually infusing hope in those areas with the Hope Foundation, and also the work that you do inside the jail and outside the jail, and with the with legislation, you know, with the, well, I should say with council members and more. So, you know, basically like DC, it took a hit this year. Well, last year I think it was, yeah, because it's 2021. Well, last year with the COVID relief fund, you know, we did, DC didn't get it because it wasn't a state. You know, it didn't get the money that it could have get, that every other state could have got. So because of that, funding wasn't given to DC, where a lot of people still suffer even more. But we were talking about how because of that very fact, that's one of the facts, but people are already suffering as it is, but not to be treated as a state and get the relief funds that could have been funded to us if we were a state, made it suffer even more. But now you are working on the front lines, bootstraps and everything, trying to make sure that this doesn't continue.
Right. So yeah, so you know, one of the things I like to talk about, if you think about, see, a lot of people think things that happen to them are losses, right? And they really lessons. You know what I'm saying? So you never take a loss, you just learn a lesson. You know what I'm saying? And so even in the landscape of what DC looks like, what we do know is that we as people, right, one person at a time, and again, it's not competitive, you know, reentry looks dysfunctional, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know, you know what I'm saying? It looks like, sometimes it look like the street, you know what I'm saying? Some, you know, deep people beefing and all. But again, when you think about reentry, you don't think about just returning citizens. You think about the community. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody is affected by reentry, by prison, by criminal justice, by mass incarceration. Everybody is affected by this, whether the population dwindling down, and so we can't get the adequate funding. You know what I'm saying? Again, we're not a state, we're a city, so we know but again, we are a unique place where we still have the mayor still has over a half a billion, right? You know what I'm saying? And funding, right? You know, so again, even though that thing happened to us, we were already there. But it's just about how do we get a piece of the pie? And the only way you can get a piece of the pie is that you have to organize. You have to be able to have these conversations. And we look so blind because they dangle carrots and you're easy to run for it. You know what I'm saying? You easy to, sometimes you can say, nah, you keep that, right? We're gonna work on this, and then we're gonna come to you. Is this not, but you know, I'm trying to be diplomatic. I'm trying to be really, you know, because we're on a podcast, so I ain't trying to, you know, really, I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, right?
That's the wise thing
I
to
don't want to
do.
hurt nobody's feelings. Let me say.
Amen.
So we have to be, I look at it like this. My nonprofit is what it is. It's a nonprofit, okay? So I never went into nonprofit trying to get money, right? I never did it because it's a nonprofit. So I built a system that said whether we got money or not, we got to do the work, right? Because we're organization, right? You know what I'm saying? So we got to do the work, whether we got the money or not. So if we have the attitude about doing this work first, everything else comes on the back end. You get what I'm saying? So if you look at the landscape of what we doing, so I'm not chasing. You know what I'm saying? Because self-sufficiency and how I look at us, I make sure the people that I'm surrounded by, right? All of us smart people. So we make great decisions with our money so we can be able to help people. Because I can't tell you, just like with Congress Park, I never told them, nah, we ain't got the money, we can't help. You know what I'm saying? We just said, let's figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And so we continue to figure out things, and then the blessings come behind it. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, COVID-19 hit us in March. It had me to sit down for 30 days, you know what I'm saying? 30, 40 days. And I was like, man, I wasn't thinking about me. Because guess what? Because I'm smart, financially educated, right? I never was short, right? See, I got 2 tanks, right? I can go in the storage tank, you know what I'm saying? And then I can go in the storage tank down there. We ain't talking about bragging or whatever the case may be. I'm just talking about because I'm financially educated, right? I'm not caught up in the system that I already know is for me to fail in. You get what I'm saying? What now? Because I already know I can't depend on nobody. But when the opportunity comes, you better take advantage of the opportunity when it's here. Because one day the opportunity might not be here. Right. You know what I'm saying? So when the blessings came, I'm just talking about blessings. When the blessings came, you know what I'm saying? The cup overflow, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, God, okay. Man, my man, you know what I'm saying? It was every time my man. And I was like, oh, where'd that come from? My man, you know what I'm saying? So every time God was saying, because your heart is pure, right? Your intentions, your integrity is intact. I already know what you're going to do when I bless you, because I've already put things in place for you, because I understand that you can handle this magnitude. Yeah. Right? Because you see, look, he'll give you a flock of sheep, but you got to be able to handle it. That's right. Because he's going to give you fish. He's going to give you everything. All you got to do is read the word. I already know who I'm talking to, right? I ain't never read the Bible back and forth, but I know they just took about 5 fish and they fed a whole lot of people with them. I don't know. So my fish come. I was like, oh, okay. Oh man, okay, God. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pounding all the time, right? And then I'm hitting everybody that I'm connected to, say, we good. Don't worry about, we good, right? So because in leadership, right, I can't go in front of you looking worried, you know what I'm saying? And feeling, you know what I'm saying? I gotta be like, regardless of what it looks like, I'm protected. You know what I'm saying? Like the discernment, and I'm protected, right? Because God ain't bring me this far to just let me go. He done covered me through my mess.
Come on.
I listen. That's right. I don't know. I done seen about 3-4 grave sites that I ain't never go in. Yeah. Right? You get what I'm going at? Listen, I listen, it was by a pull or by some handcuffs. I don't know what it was, but God said, look, nah, not now. It ain't your time.
That's right.
I got something big for you to do, boy. Cause guess what? Listen, he said, man, if you can do all that mess the backwards way, oh man, watch, I'm gonna put you in the front line and I'm gonna listen, cause you a hustler. He said, man, there's something about you, you a hustler. So you a go-getter.
That's right.
And you're a
Right.
So what he's told me, he said, if I can orchestrate a whole lot of crime and get people to buy into going with me on crime spree, he said, listen, boy, I know orchestrate people that bring the right way. Like, you know what I'm
my
saying?
way.
Like,
Say so.
He said, if you can bring the wolves, you can definitely bring the sheep.
Come on now. Come on.
Look, I ain't got no Bible nowhere. I ain't reading no scriptures and none of
It's
that.
in your heart.
It's spiritual. It's
That's right.
spiritual. You get what I'm saying? So when I talk, it ain't me talking. It's spiritual. I'm connected to the universe. So whatever you put in the universe, you get back. You get back tenfold. Because it ain't about me. I got to keep on giving.
That's right.
I got to keep on giving because the universe give me everything I need. All I got to do is ask for it.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But when you listen, when your mind is not connected to a spiritual, because there's only 14 centimeters between here and here, right? It ain't that far, but they gotta be connected.
Connected.
It gotta be connected. It ain't that far. So if your
Right.
heart ain't connected to your mind, then you heartless, right?
Mhm.
So I gotta be able to think and then tell my heart, or my heart gotta tell my mind, guess what, Corey? We gotta do right. Everything we do from now on, it gotta be right. It can't be no other way. It gotta be right. So when I had these conversations and I'm talking to people, yeah, I'm probably preaching for about 5 or 10 minutes. Just about 5. Just about 5 minutes. Then I get them, then I get them connected.
Right.
And then I have conversations, right? Because first we gotta go on, we gotta look at, listen, this ain't about me or you. At the end of the day, it's about the people. Now, what I heard was when you got elected, you used your election off of the people because you said you were gonna take care of the people. So I'm just going by what you said. You know what I'm saying? So let's have a conversation. Let's talk about the people that you said in your election that you was gonna help, right? That's it. Cause see, if you lie to me, then I'm gonna tell the people. And then when election come again, they ain't gonna mess with you no more. Cause they know I'm solid. So when I tell them something, they know I'm gonna tell them the truth, right? So now when I'm connected to these people, I just hold them on their own word.
Their own words.
Hold them on their word. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
See, because we don't know how to hold them on their word because they know how to bribe you. Or you need a job? Nah.
I don't need nothing from you. I'm good.
Look, they asked me today, you need a job? I said, listen, man, your salary, I can get that in 2 or 3 weeks because I'm a hustler. So I can get that too. See, I hustle food now, right? I hustle
Everybody
water.
needs some food. Everybody needs some water.
Right? Yeah. So you
lemonade.
Right. You
can't bribe me.
You can't bribe me with a job no more. You can't bribe me with a salary. Because again, we go to financial institution. When you look at financial, when you telling me I'm making $75,000 a year, I'm only making about 47.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll probably be making less than that if I put my bank account to my institution, because anything that comes in my first bank account go out like wildfire. It go to electric, car note, insurance, and necessities, food, entertainment, all these clothes, all this stuff. So your money, you don't even keep it, right? So the first, who take your money first? Uncle Sam? Mm-hmm. The tax man take it first. They chop it up. They get FICA, they get DC, they get all these 4 people. They get a part of your money, right? Before you, and then when you get it, see, this is what you have people think about. When you get your check, where you take your check to? Straight to the bank, straight to another institution that you feel safe that handles your money. So what you do, they give you a piece of plastic, tell you got some credit. All you got to do is swipe it with an interest. And then you go crazy with the swiping that you owe them too much. So now they in your pocket. And so now you got the loan for the house and the car and all of these other necessities that they in your pocket. So the bank is in the back, the government is in the front. But where you at? Right? So when you talk about salary, listen, your salary is supposed to be an investment in my life. So that means I must have something first of my own before I can take yours, because anything that you give me is supposed to be an investment. I'll work the hours to invest in my life, right? You get what I'm saying?
That's wisdom.
I don't need to work for that money just to spend. It needs to be an investment, because I'm not on working for the rest of my life. So I don't want to be 65 or 70 in pocket putting clothes back. I'm just saying, I don't. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to look at a computer and look at the shares on some stock, you know, like T-Mobile, you know what I'm saying?
Apple.
and Bird Airline, and you know, all of these other stocks, and watch them grow until they get to the ceiling. And once they get to the ceiling, take your money out, because they can't go no higher. But people just let their money sit in and don't find nowhere else for it to go. And that's the thing about being able to invest. It ain't just about investing, it's about watching. So you got money, you got so many people that watch most of the time, because when that money hit the ceiling, that means hurry up and take it out and then put it somewhere else that it can grow somewhere else. And that's how you plant seeds. But again, we can go through this financial, we can go through life, we can go through, you know what I'm saying, trauma, we can go through it all. You just have to be more educated, and you have to stop and think, and not, because most of the time, I'm gonna go here. Most of the time, people are so distracted that they can't think.
Come on now. Come on. And that's how it's set up to be. All these distractions.
Like this all day until they get in the house. You know what I'm saying? So half of the day they wasn't thinking. And most of the day they were making bad decisions, whether it was finance, whether it was, you know, making a mistake, whether it was, you know, using drugs or drinking or hanging out, going to the club, buying something that they ain't had no business buying. They so engulfed, right, in distraction that they ain't thinking.
Crazy.
And so most people live that way. They live so upside down because they feel like they got the rest of their life and they don't plan for the future. So it's no future in their life because they never planned. You got to create the life you want so you can stop living the one you hate.
Come
and if
on
you
now.
hate the life you live, create another one. That's what I had to do. I hated the life I lived, so I had to create a whole nother life.
Absolutely.
Right? That I organized, I put in place. I put the puzzle together, because now I can see so clear because I put it together.
Yeah.
Did nobody put it together?
One of the things I was thinking about, no, not to switch gears, but you were talking about like investing and changing your life. And I think maybe the last couple times we had you on, you had like youth with you. And I know you do a lot of work with young people and with youth. And, you know, we had a brief conversation about it the other day, but what have you seen with like the youth that you work with and the youth that you have invested in? Like, how are they doing in this time?
Yeah.
Kevin just came back from the army. Sakai got a job.
No, what about Jeremiah?
Jeremiah, he pulling his hair out. Marcus got a job. Yeah. Jeremiah, he got a girlfriend and
distracted.
He got a girlfriend, he want to smoke weed, so he distracted.
Yeah.
Distracted.
Until he ready.
Right.
Right. Marcus got a job. Marcus been hustling, he got a job, he started a t-shirt company. And so the people that the young kids that I'm connected to, they model. I was a model. So when they make t-shirts and do all of these things, where do you think they got it from? You gonna say, like, I made their t-shirts. I took them to cut grass. We took them, you know what I'm saying, in these jobs and taking them, and I invested so much time with them that I didn't see the harvest.
Yes.
These kids, you know, Janae, she had a baby, she worked at FedEx. She been working at FedEx for 3 years. You get what I'm saying? Like these that we work with, and mostly all of them graduated.
Yes.
They graduated.
Because they saw what they could.
And they ain't near one of them get killed in violence. Ain't nothing happened to them. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, I don't know where to go at with it. You feel me? Like the kids that we connected to, they solid.
They learn how to make wise decisions. Watching you, you know, what's the wise thing to do?
There you go. You know what I'm saying? Because what we do know is co-parenting is real. So I became a father.
Yeah.
You know, to many. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, either I'm co-parenting or I'm mentoring their family. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm supporting the family or I'm supporting the child. And so again, that another bill that we working on now, that's, you know, it's about to be passed. It's about to be fully passed, but it's children of incarcerated parents, right? We're working on that bill because again, we're always talking about re-entry and returning citizens, but we leaving the kids out. You know what I'm saying? The kids are affected by this. Why they in school, you know what I'm saying? Not having, you know what I'm saying? Living with somebody else. There's so many different variables with a child to have a parent incarcerated that we need to focus on. You know what I'm saying? And so again, Tony Lewis, he can attest to that because he went through that system, right? Of being affected by his father, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. But he made it out. You know what I'm saying? He had support. And so what we do know is these things need support and they understand it. So if you want to help return the citizens out, help the whole family. Right. It's just not about the individual. You got to help the family out. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because guess what? Family been affected by mass incarceration. You know what I'm saying? So now we go back to what can you do for the family, right? We got so many things that I'm working on, that I'm having conversations about. Just got the Job Amendment Act passed, right? And we got Morka about $300,000 and a new full-time position, right? But guess that came from the Work Now Reform Act. That was something we put together. It's like, okay, how can we help employees help out returning citizens, right? And so it's a reform. So we say, okay, so let's incentivize, right? Let's incentivize and let's pay a salary, right? To build this relationship, to make it more marketable for the employer can say, okay, because we don't want to be, all right, we don't want to be project empowerment. Cut that piece, okay? No, because we don't want the employer just to pimp the system. You get what I'm saying? Right. By using individuals, right? Because they're getting paid because the government is paying for it, so they're not hiring nobody. They say, you know what? I'm gonna hire somebody when they're gonna give me about 4 more people in the next 6 months, right? Because then they ain't made no statement of saying, look, you gotta hire somebody or we don't need you no more. You feel me? But we not putting our foot down and we just making it look pretty, right? Instead of saying, you have to put a clause in this relationship or this agreement that they gotta hire at least 3 people, right? In a year. If I'm giving you 16, let's say if I'm giving you 9 to 16 people labor, right, for the whole year, you should be able to hire 3 of them.
Yeah, that's good. That's definitely good. That's true. Yeah. Right. Because you're holding people accountable.
Yeah. There you go. But it's nobody accountable, right?
Yeah.
It's just a system being used, right, to funnel money and make it look pretty.
And it actually adds to the problem too, because with that being said, you got individuals who's working and expecting, they have an expectation, and we know that when the expectation is not met, then that leads to depression. That leads to every other aspect that a person might go into that's wrong because of well, if this ain't gonna work, forget it then. And then you got people that just return to what they know. So it adds to the problem. So people do need to be held accountable, and the money needs to be funded to the proper individuals that's doing the work and actually showing the result of the work. Because like you said, with the opportunity, that's planting the seed. So with the opportunity and the seed being planted, eventually if that seed is truly planted and that opportunity is really the true seed that it says it is,
Mhm.
you're going to see
Right.
the harvest, and that means that you're going to curb recidivism. That means you're going to curb, you're going to increase public safety. You're going to do so many aspects that 9 times out of 10, it won't just be just, oh yeah, we did it on paper. No, no,
Yeah.
no. We want to see
Yeah.
the fruit of that, man. And that's
Right,
what I'm
right.
glad you are in the city. Go, definitely.
Right. But yeah, we want outcomes. I just don't want numbers. I want outcomes. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like I really want, even if it's 3 people, again, if we get 5 or 6 people hired or whatever the case may be, then that's cool. You know, so just like the virtual program we do. We've been doing a virtual program since COVID. You know what I'm saying? We started in April. You know, we got some seed money from community foundations and our partners, Capital One, you know what I'm saying, fund us. You know, we got a company, a foundation called the Celia Foundation. That's a great funder for us, the support of us, you know what I'm saying, through this time. And I'm just like, I'm putting incentives out there. I'm like, look, I'm gonna give you, you know, an incentive, you know what I'm saying? This is a course, you know, but in that space, right, we're gonna wrap you around with some services, right? And my goal is to hand you off to somebody else. And at 12 weeks, my goal is to say, you know what, I'm gonna put you in this ready for work program. Let me put you somewhere else that's gonna help you, you know what I'm saying, to enhance your life. You know what I'm saying? So it's about support. It's really about the support, the mental, the emotional, you know what I'm saying, support that the individual needs. So I'm gonna help you with that. We're gonna mentor you. We're gonna have these groups. We're gonna converse. You're gonna get incentivized. And with the Women's Halfway House, what we do with them is that we give them care packages, you know what I'm saying? Like we get them one-time care packages. You know, I bought the little smart tablets, you know what I'm saying, pass some of them out to people. They ain't, you know, the smartphone was, you know, the real Obama jump, the flip jump, right? They couldn't zoom on it, right? You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? But there's so many different ways that you can support somebody. You know, the grocery gift cards, we were just giving out, you know, Safeway gift cards, a couple of $10, $20 gift cards, you know what I'm saying, just to get some food in the house. And, you know, I mean, we got to go back. I say, look, if you got to go in there and get you 2 cases of them cup of noodles, you know what I'm saying, and a loaf of bread, and, you know, you might have to go back to, you know, the days, you know, where you had to, you know, get some done.
But you need some food. But you're eating.
Butter sandwiches. We used to eat butter sandwiches. Hey, look.
We laughed about it, but they were like, right. I was like, look, man, that's you know, that's the survival kit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
that's right.
And it shows that you see me. You see me. And you're trying to help me. And maybe I could, you know, learn from this and help somebody else, you know.
He lying. I'm like, look, you listen, you know, Case, you what you give out? 12, what's it, 12 pack or 20? 20
12 pack.
You get about 12 or 20 cups of noodles. I'm like, look, man, you know,
Put a little chicken in it, put a little onions in it.
That's
put some
two.
veggies.
That's right. That's 2 a day. That's 6 days. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's right.
You good.
That's
You know, don't use all the sodium, but you know what I'm saying? Don't use all the packets, you know, the sodium in it, but you know,
Okay, so we are about to wrap it up.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So, Corey, tell us, so for people who want to connect to you, connect to the work with reentry, with, you know, working with people in recovery and returning citizens, if they want to contact you, how can they contact you? Of course, we'll put it in the link when we put up the show, but also if they want,
you know, a lot of people connect from our Hope Foundation page, you know.
Not just went there.
Again, and I'm proud of this. Right?
Nice.
Is that every time you pull up reentry programs in Washington, D.C., we the first name to come up, right? Because again, we are a reentry program, right?
Right.
I just don't see most everybody work with returning citizens, right? It's a difference, right? We are a reentry DC based program. So you got people that work with returning citizens, and you got people that have we have the program. And so we get a lot of requests through the email. So you can go to www.hopereentrynetworkdc.org, or you can hit me on my email, hfoundation2013@gmail.com. hfoundation2013@gmail.com. So you just,
Fantastic.
yeah, just hit me up, or go to our website and just hit the link. Put your information in, and we'll definitely get back to you.
Absolutely.
We here.
So, thank you, of course, for coming on,
Mhm.
for always being a friend and a partner and an advocate in these streets.
Yeah.
Are there any final thoughts for my co-host before we wrap it up?
Yeah, before we close out though, I want Corey to plug because he talks about financial literacy and he also grooms the people that he mentors and helps to reentry about financial literacy. But he also shows them how to create businesses by first showing them through example of his own life and also giving them ways and pathways to that. So I want him to plug his businesses too, because he's a chef. He got DC Water,
Community Cafe Express. You got Community Cafe Express,
yeah,
DC.com. You know what I'm saying? We got a website. I'm getting ready to put my menu up. We're ready to do the little order thing on Square. We're gonna put the menu together. Food truck coming soon. This summer. So I got a meeting with the guy. He actually came down here from Georgia. He's here, and we're gonna meet tomorrow. We're gonna talk about that price he's trying to give me, but that's a whole nother story. You know what I'm saying? And district water. We definitely getting ready to start bottling up. The summertime coming. And so we're gonna definitely put the water, the lemonade out. We got the district squeeze, which is an orange ginger lemonade drink that I also put out. It's a really healthy drink. But again, it's just about marketing. It's just about putting products in the atmosphere. Like everybody, I feel like everybody has a marketable skill, whether it's a product, whether it's your personality, whether it's education, whether it's mentoring, whatever the case may be. Everybody has this skill. Some people just use it the wrong way. We can look on the corner every day where people got lawn chairs and stand outside selling weed all day, whatever the case may be. And I had these conversations. I say, if you think about you think about the scientist, you think about the entrepreneur that's connected to a scientist, that's connected to a banker, that's connected to a corporation. If you can sit outside with a scale and a bag of weed, and you can take some weed out the bag and put it on a scale, weigh it, and then put it in somebody's hand for some money, you are a genius. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I say, look at all the work that you do mentally, right? How you put money together, how you how you read scale, how you know these. A lot of people don't know that. You have a gift, you got a talent, but you using it the wrong way. I did the same thing. You a hustler, but you hustling the wrong product that gives you a consequence that can put you in jail for life. Now you think about it. If you were to take that money that you using and get you a product and sell it and become a real businessman, which I can show you, that's where the product goes. This is where the stepping stone at. And we have these type of conversations that, that I might leave them off the corner and they scratching their head, man, I'm gonna get with you. All right, you gonna give with me? And I'll say, I hate to say it, the only time you probably get with me is when you get over DC jail. I'll be over there.
See when you get there.
Thanks for coming, man. Definitely, man.
Absolutely. Novena, did you have any final words?
Red Snapper. No.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I was asking about him being my personal chef yesterday. I'm
personal chef and my business coach. Listen, I need to talk to you, Corey. Listen,
I ain't going nowhere. I am
H Foundation 2013.
You have my number.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you. I'm serious. I'm retired now. And I'm working on something new, and I think it may be helpful because I work. What I do now is I do a lot of small groups.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do 2 small groups, but I'm open to one more, and it is for young moms.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be like a facilitator, but I have leaders that will talk with young moms, and I'm providing a safe space for them. So I do want to talk to you some more about that, along with the red snapper.
Yeah, we about to go back.
Oh, keep saying that red snapper. Okay.
Yeah. We about to go back into the school, so you know what I'm saying, like we getting there, like we going
I
back.
want to connect, especially with this virtual world, man. I'm getting, you know, I want to talk with you about it though, for real.
And
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, and Corey, I'll call you tomorrow. So what I'm gonna do is already too, I'm gonna talk to one of the lawyers over there at the Washington Clinic, and then ask them, can I give you the link for the meeting on that 4th Wednesday, and add whatever you want to talk about to the agenda. All right.
Okay. All right. Definitely. Let's do it, man.
Okay.
It's been a long time coming. We already need to connect. It's been a long time.
Absolutely. So this has been another Bold and Beautiful podcast with our wonderful guest, Corey Knight. Making it happen in these streets. Making it happen in these streets. Keeping a smile through it all. So we just thank you again. And we look forward to hearing and following up with you later. And of course, Novena got you on the red snapper. Curtis got you. I got you. So we will be talking to you later. All right, family. It's been fun. Have been fun.
All right, buddy. Thanks for coming on. Love all y'all.
All right.
All right.
All right.